In the serene suburban community of Greenfield, Richard Thompson's life seemed like a page out of a storybook. He was a devoted husband, a loving father to 3 beautiful children, and a respected member of his neighborhood. Richard shared his days with his wife, Laura, whose warmth and kindness had initially drawn him to her during their college years. Together, they had built a life that many envied, filled with laughter, family outings, and the comforting routine of everyday life. Richard thrived on this predictability, finding solace in the simple joys of parenting and partnership. However, beneath this idyllic surface, a storm was brewing, threatening to disrupt the very foundation of his existence. Richard and Laura's love story began on a college campus, where they first met as young, ambitious students. Their relationship blossomed quickly, fueled by shared dreams and aspirations. After graduation, they married and soon welcomed their first child, Emily. The arrival of Alex and Lily soon followed, completing their vision of a perfect family. To their friends and neighbors, the Thompsons epitomized happiness and success. Always the first to organize neighborhood barbecues and the last to lead community events, their lives intertwined with those around them. Yet as time passed, subtle fissures in this facade began to appear, unnoticed by many but palpable to Richard. It started with Laura's demeanor shifting. The attentive wife and mother he once knew became increasingly distant and preoccupied. Richard noticed her spending long hours at work, often late into the night, and her once vibrant energy seemed to fade. The spark in her eyes dulled, replaced with a constant distraction, often fixated on her phone. Although Richard instinctively trusted Laura, nagging doubts began to creep into his mind. He brushed them aside, attributing her behavior to the stresses of motherhood and work, but the unease lingered. The situation escalated when Richard discovered a series of late-night calls and messages from an unfamiliar number on their phone bill. Each notification felt like a dagger to his heart, intensifying his growing anxiety. The breaking point came when he stumbled upon intimate photographs accidentally left in a shared computer file, images that were never meant for his eyes. Confronted with this undeniable evidence of betrayal, Richard's world began to crumble. Laura initially denied wrongdoing, her protests sounding hollow against the weight of the revelations. It wasn't long before she confessed to having an affair, a revelation that shattered Richard's faith in their relationship and the sanctity of their family. The emotional impact was devastating. Richard felt as if the ground beneath him had given way, leaving him in freefall. The pain intensified further when he was forced to confront a harrowing question: the paternity of his children. Laura's infidelity was not merely a betrayal of trust. It was a revelation that rocked him to his core, leading him to question the very fabric of his family. The thought of his beloved children potentially not being his own was unbearable. Richard's quest for truth became relentless. Fueled by a mix of anger, sorrow, and a desperate need for closure, he made the heart-wrenching decision to request DNA tests for each child. When the results came back, they were catastrophic. None of the children he had lovingly raised were biologically his. The realization hit him like a freight train. The years he had cherished as a father were built on a foundation of lies. This devastating truth compounded his grief, entangling him in a web of legal and emotional ramifications. Feeling utterly betrayed and deceived, Richard sought justice through the legal system, filing a lawsuit against Laura for paternity fraud. He sought compensation for the emotional and financial burdens of raising children who were not his own, as well as accountability for the deceit that had unraveled his life. The ensuing court case was arduous and publicly scrutinized, laying bare the intimate details of Richard's personal life for all to witness. Laura, once his partner and confidant, became the focal point of his legal battle, facing the consequences of her actions as their painful narrative of betrayal unfolded in court. The legal proceedings proved to be emotionally draining, serving as a constant reminder of a family life that had irrevocably changed. Richard's pursuit of justice transcended mere financial restitution. It was about confronting the profound betrayal and reclaiming his dignity. The courtroom became a battleground, allowing him to express the depths of his suffering and seek acknowledgement for the wrongs inflicted upon him. The emotional toll of the trial was immense, further exacerbated by the public nature of the case, which subjected every aspect of Richard's life to scrutiny. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers speculated about the couple's downfall, turning Richard's private heartbreak into a public spectacle. After months of intense legal battles, the court ultimately ruled in his favor, granting him a significant financial settlement. While this decision provided a semblance of justice, it did little to heal the deeper emotional wounds. The financial compensation could never replace the years lost or the familial bond shattered. In the aftermath of the trial, Richard faced the daunting task of rebuilding his life. The journey toward healing was long and fraught with challenges. He sought therapy and support to cope with his emotional scars and to redefine his identity beyond the betrayal. The children, now aware of the truth, found themselves entangled in a complex web of relationships and emotions, struggling to understand the upheaval in their lives and their mother's actions. Richard endeavored to maintain a relationship with them, navigating the difficult waters of their new reality while grappling with his own feelings of loss and betrayal. Richard's story is one of profound betrayal and the quest for justice, illustrating the pain that deceit can inflict and the resilience required to confront it. While the legal system offered a measure of closure, the emotional recovery proved to be a lengthy and arduous journey. His experience of heartbreak, legal battles, and personal reconstruction serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of trust and the strength needed to overcome even the most profound betrayals. As he moved forward, Richard learned to find new meaning in life, cultivating a sense of self apart from the pain, and ultimately striving to be the best father he could be, despite the shadows of his past.